This meeting of the Littleton Licensing Authority will come to order. City Clerk, please call the roll.
Chairman Bradish.
Here.
Vice Chair Cole. Authority Member Buchanan.
Here.
Authority Member Levere.
Here.
Authority Member Mather. Authority Member Schock.
Here.
Authority Member Webb.
Here.
We have a quorum, and everyone will be voting. Next item of business, approval of the agenda. Everyone's had a chance to look at the agenda.
Yes, I will move that we approve the agenda.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried. Next item, number 3, certification of minutes of the previous meeting. Everybody now understands what that term is code for. We're certifying the certification of the recording of the meeting.
Yes.
We have a motion to approve.
Yes, I'll move to approve based on the clerk's certification of the July 8th video as the minutes for the July 8th, 2015 regular session of the Littleton Licensing Authority.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Next item of business, item number 5. Resolution to approve a liquor license application for, is it CAL or KAL? KAL Restaurant Incorporated, doing business as Zyka Indian Cuisine, 151 West Mineral Avenue, number 109, Littleton, Colorado. We have some exhibits that we already have. Are there any additional?
We have exhibits in your packet A through F, and then Exhibit G will be the public hearing roster, which I will provide to you in just a moment.
All right. Do I have a motion to approve the attachments?
So moved.
A second. All in favor?
Aye.
No opposed? Licensee may proceed.
Carol, you want to?
Good evening.
Good evening. Carol Johnson for Esquire Petitioning Services. Good to be back with you again.
I have to swear you. You swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give before this authority is truthful?
I do.
Thank you.
We did this license in a couple of the petitioning we worked on Saturday on August 22nd and Monday the 24th, and the businesses were done on Tuesday the 25th. We did a total of 294 door knocks, of which 117 signed the petition, 16 declined, 15 were ineligible, and 162 did not answer the door. Of that, we had 89 residents and 25 businesses in support for 114, or 97.4%. We had 2 residents and 1 business owner in opposition for a total of 2.6%, equaling the 117 for 100%. The reasons stated for opposition: 1 did not drink alcohol and 2 were concerned with drinking and driving. So in the final needs and desires analysis, we had 114 in support, 0 in opposition. And I will answer any questions you may have.
You said 1 opposition was from a business owner?
Yes.
And was that opposition on the basis of drinking and driving, or does not drink?
I'll tell you in a second here. It was actually a non-drinking. The non-drinking was the business owner.
Okay.
Yeah.
I have no questions.
Nor do I for the needs and desires. That's a pretty high percentage, and nothing really stands out.
Yeah.
I think there are three licenses in that shopping center. With this one, I believe this will be the third.
Now, the Asian restaurant and then the Shack and I'm trying to...
There's four.
It'd be 4.
and then
Safeway.
Safeway. They're all different type of environment.
Yeah,
I think it's a
they are.
nice
and,
variety.
if I'm safe in assuming, they probably were asked to sign the petition, and I don't see that any of them said no.
No, like I say, there was one business, the one business owner that was a non-drinker, but
That's at
other than,
another location.
but other than that,
Yeah, the Shack says they support. I see that.
right. They're very supportive of the shopping center and that whole area anytime we do a liquor license. They've, I think they're firmly founded there and aren't afraid of new competition. They welcome the population growth in the area and
Yeah, they like the traffic.
and like any other
Does the
questions?
city have any comments?
Not at this time, Chairman.
Anything further would you like to add?
No, I just think that from the responses that we did have, the people are looking forward to having a new place to eat dinner.
Thank you very much. Good job. Would the licensees like to speak on their own behalf?
Not really, sir.
You come forward to the microphone, sir, if you would. No, this microphone in the center. State your name, please.
Basanta Lamsal. I go by Bobby.
Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give before this authority is truthful?
Yes, sir, I do.
Thank you.
You're welcome, sir.
We've had a chance to look at your individual history records and your police records, and unless I missed something, I didn't find anything in there that would be a negative.
Sure, sir. I mean, until and unless if you have any questions, this is our second location. I'm in the industry for the last 9 years. Same industry, Indian restaurant. And first I came from East Coast, so I was dealing with the ABC license over there. And since we moved in Colorado, I moved in Colorado in 2011. I'm in the same restaurant industry. First I was with Azitra. It's again in Broomfield. I worked for it for 4 years. Then I started my own in Broomfield. It's again Jaika Indian Cuisine a year ago. We are having our first anniversary this coming 15th. And I had another good team join me from East Coast. I knew this gentleman when I was staying or living there. Then they wanted to do it too. And he's in the food service industry, but in a different sector. He was in Subway business. So now we are together and we're expanding.
At your Broomfield location, can you tell me what percentage of food to alcohol ratio?
We only have so far wine and beer. It's not very exciting. It's almost like somewhere in between 10 to 12%.
Mr. Lamsal, have you had any difficulty with licensing violations in Broomfield?
Not so far, sir.
And share with us why you elected to select a location in Littleton for your expansion.
Actually, everybody was, I believe, keeping an eye on Highlands Ranch. It's growing pretty much, pretty fast. And we actually believe that we have the best Indian food. And there are only 2 restaurants that carry that quality. The first one is Azitra, where I used to work before. And the second one are us. And we think wherever we go with the quality of food and service, we don't have any competition with anybody, but we had kept an eye in this area as well. And first we're talking to negotiate with India's best. Somehow it didn't work out, and fortunately we found a place here which was close enough from Highlands Ranch, and except India's best, there are not any Indian restaurants around 10-mile radius or so. That was one of the, and another was like the demographics. That was another attraction for us.
Thank you.
From the diagram that I looked at, you won't actually have a bar in the premises, will you?
No, we will have the bar, sir.
You will have a bar?
Yes, sir.
So you can sit at the bar and have a drink, or?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
It's
I missed
it's a small bar, like not a whole lot of people can sit there. Maximum, I would say 4 or 5.
Okay.
Because we're not doing anything to the bar. We're going to use the existing one, sir.
Do you train your staff in serving alcohol?
Yes, sir, we do. And luckily, we have already trained the staff, so we have already trained them, and some of them, they will be coming here in this restaurant, so we'll not have any issue. And we're aware on that. And I don't know, that's another question I wanted to ask the board here. In Broomfield, the Broomfield Police does the training now and again, and every time they send us the invitation, if we have new employees or somebody, then we can take to them and train them too. We have been doing that as well. But we train on premises ourselves.
Does Littleton offer any training?
Not at this time, no.
No.
Is it Lakewood that does the TIPS training? There's that free training?
There are several jurisdictions, so we can certainly work with you.
Definitely, ma'am. At this point, we will not really need it, but I just wanted to work with them just in case.
How many people will actually be involved in serving the liquor?
At least 1, 2, 3, 4 people, sir.
1 bartender and 3 servers?
At this point, what we have done, we have trained all our staff who are, everybody is, over 21. We have trained, and we'll have some, not too many, but some cocktails, some exotic drinks, but we have already trained them to make it. And so basically at this point, we're not having a certain bartender assigned, but we will see how the business goes and we'll go from there, sir. So basically right now we're doing ourselves, or planning to do.
Will you personally be on site?
Yes, for some months. Initially, maybe 2-3 months, I'll be there too. And please come by and check us out too, how we're doing.
Tell us a little bit about your food.
Basically, I am from Nepal, and I was working with very professional Indian people since last 9 years. So I started in East Coast in 2006. Nepalese food and Indian food, the ingredients are same. But our restaurant is going to have purely Indian food. It's not going to mix and match. So not a little bit Tibetan, not a little bit Nepalese, and some Indian too, because we want to identify ourselves as a purely Indian food. Though it's owned and managed by Nepalese people, but still it's going to have Indian, the authentic Indian food. And in India, there are basically 2 categories, Northern and Southern Indian. Southern Indian, you tend to use a little bit more like, I would say, non-greasy stuff, like the tamarind, more coconut, more spices, pretty hot kind of stuff, versus the Northern Indian use more creamy. And they use some other ingredients which are not that unique, and we specialize in Northern Indian food. So our will be, if somebody asks, are you from Northern India or Southern India, we are definitely from Northern India. And, yep, that is all, I guess.
What are your hours?
Our hours is going to be, we'll take a break in between. So far we have thought about that, like my other restaurant, we take a break from 2:30 to 5 o'clock. So basically our lunch will be 11 to 2:30. Then we'll close down for a couple of hours. Then again we'll start at 5. And we are planning to go till 9:30 for weekdays and 10 o'clock for the weekends. But we'll see again how the shopping complex is going to do. There are a couple of places only there. They stay late, like the Safeway opens till 11 and the Sac opens till 2 o'clock. And some of the times we have been there, it's like almost dead after 9 o'clock. So we'll see, sir. But definitely from 5 till maybe 9:30 or 10, and lunch 11 to 2:30.
How many employees will you have?
At least we'll have at least 8 or 9 to start with.
Is there a Nepalese community here you can draw from?
Not really in Littleton. I know so far there are only 2 families. Maybe we'll explore more, but most of we still call them or tag them as Nepalese people. There is a huge community of Bhutanese people. Originally they speak Nepalese. We think they are Nepalese people too, and they're in Aurora though. And in this area, we don't have that much regarding the Nepalese community. When you talk about Nepalese community, it's not huge. Like in our side, we have huge population in Boulder. There are lots of Nepalese people, but not really on this side.
Well, you've applied for a restaurant and hotel license, which is full liquor.
Yes, sir.
Where will you store extra bottles of liquor? Will they be at the bar? Will they be in a storeroom?
We have a small storeroom too, so the extra will be lockable in a lockable storeroom, which is our office too.
And your back door, I see an exit out the back. That'll be secured and locked during the day, during business hours?
Yes, sir.
So as far as alcohol is concerned, you really don't know how much alcohol you're going to sell until you open and...
Honestly, yes, sir. We don't know at this point. But, we always wanted to start with, first in my other restaurant, I started with the wine and beer. And this year I'm planning to have the full liquor license over there too, but it's completely a new process again. So we rather thought, okay, let's get the, complete hotel and restaurant class license and see how we do.
Are you planning on having any outdoor seating?
We don't have anything, sir.
And can you I'm having trouble with the map here. Can you describe where you are in the shopping center? Are you next to?
The sporting goods,
Okay.
the sporting goods, and there is, I think, small chiropractic center or some sort of doctor's shops. We're right in the middle.
Okay.
There is to be Upper Crest Pizza.
Okay. Yep.
That's where the pizza place...
Yes, it was there, sir. Yeah.
I hope you have better luck than they did.
That's what we're trying to see.
I don't have any other questions.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir, again. Thank you, ma'am. And thank you, Carol, as well.
We have no one signed up to speak from the
No,
public.
but just a
and I see
reminder
no
that-
one is here.
Right, just a reminder that you need to close the public hearing too, before we vote or anything.
So we close do we need a motion to do that? No. Let's close the public discussion and have the board members discuss their feelings on this application, if you have any.
I think it's straightforward. I think it's warranted, supported by the community, and I believe everyone kind of expects there to be a beverage available for purchase when you go to a restaurant.
Given that Mr. Lamsal has been involved in another restaurant without any difficulty, I think that speaks well of his ability to comply with our rules and regulations.
I think this is a very clean application, and I can't find anything to object to. I don't have a lot of experience with Indian food, so I don't know how popular it will be, but for your sake, I hope it is, and for the community's sake, I hope it is. You appear to be competent operators, and my recommendation is that we approve the license.
it's good for the city that we have a diverse kind of restaurant, a new.
Mr. Chairman, I'll make a motion. I move that the public hearing be closed and that the resolution of the Littleton Licensing Authority be approved, which grants KAL Restaurant, Inc., doing business as Zyka Indian Cuisine, 151 West Mineral Avenue, number 109, Littleton, Colorado, a hotel and restaurant liquor license contingent upon approval by the Colorado Liquor Enforcement Division and based upon the following findings of fact. 1, that the notice of hearing was properly posted and published. 2, that the applicant has possession of the premises and the premises are suitable for the requested license. 3, that the needs of the neighborhood are not now being met. 4, that it is the desire of the adult inhabitants of the neighborhood that the license be issued. 5, that existing similar liquor licenses in the designated neighborhood are not adequate. And 6, that the applicant and registered manager are of good moral character, record, and reputation.
I'll second that motion.
We have, it's been moved and seconded that we approve this license. Would the city clerk please poll the authority?
Authority Chair Bradish.
Yes.
Authority Member Buchanan.
Yes.
Authority Member Levere.
Yes.
Authority Member Schock.
Yes.
Authority Member Webb.
Yes.
Motion is carried unanimously. Congratulations.
And good luck.
Next possible item of business is Section 16 reports. Does the staff have anything?
I've been sending you month-end reports with information about licensing activities, renewals, transfers, those kinds of things. We do have a new item that just came up that will show on your next month's report, but I thought I would share it with you because it just happened in the last couple of days. There has been an application for transfer of license for the old mill. So I just wanted to let you know that that's in process right now.
That'll be interesting.
Okay.
Does the board vote on these transfers of license?
The transfers are generally done administratively unless something unusual comes up in the background investigation.
Thank you.
So that application is completed or it's in the process?
It's pending right now. I'm waiting on a couple of pieces of financial information, and then the 3 of the 4 owners will be fingerprinted next week, and we'll move forward from there.
3 or 4 of the prospective owners.
Correct.
Okay.
And these owners are unaffiliated with the current ownership?
That is our understanding, yes.
Can you give us a couple updates or status checks on a couple of things we've looked at in the past? Littleton Liquor Mart, have they started construction yet, or
they have not started construction yet? I actually had a conversation with their legal counsel today. There have been some holdups with the original lease space, so they're looking at doing a modification of premise so that they can get moving on the space that is available.
So they're going to try to fit in 2 spaces?
I believe so, yeah.
Okay.
That's probably a good move.
And is the Toad Tavern in tax compliance yet?
They have until the 25th of this month. They have been staying current on their filings and their payments. There is one tax report that needed to be amended, has not been amended as of yet. In order to do that, the owner is going to have to come in and do that in person. Once that is amended and those taxes paid, then they will be in compliance.
And lastly, going back to the matter of the old mill, was there a disposition in the municipal court matter involving the old mill?
Not at this time. That case has been continued.
Again?
Yes.
Okay. Is there a new trial date?
Not to my knowledge.
Okay.
May I follow up on the Toad Tavern question? Are they aware that they have to come in and take care of? You mentioned they had to come in person. Are they aware of that?
There's no way for them to amend it online.
Okay.
So a logical person would accept that if they can't do it online, they need to come in.
Okay, thank you.
Oh, Colleen, has there ever been a transfer of the premise space for where Champs was?
Nothing yet, no.
Okay.
No, and their license is now void, so it would be a new license coming in whenever they find someone for that spot.
I noticed the signs are down, that's why I asked.
Yeah, I haven't seen anything yet.
What's the status of View House?
View House wasn't even looking to break ground and be open until spring of next year, so
Okay, so
they just wanted to get through the approval process. There's a very real likelihood that they will renew a license before they ever open their doors. We've had a couple that have been that route.
we
so.
have a precedent in that area.
Well, that was our issue with Board House and with Alamo Draft House. They were prepared and did their license early, and I would expect something similar with View House.
Yeah, it's always better that way. I know when View House opened in Centennial, they had their press event party at 5 o'clock, and they didn't have their state liquor license until 4:38 or something like that. So there was very tense situation there.
I think so.
Notice is it Lucky Finn's? They seem to open within very quickly after it was approved.
Very quickly.
Seems to be doing well, too.
With regard, and going back again to Old Mill, I guess they have a broad license, and if someone came in with a different concept for the Old Mill, because they've kind of taken down from what it was in the past and turned it into kind of a family restaurant, so there's been less liquor, less late night parties kind of happening at that establishment. But there's nothing, if the transfer is completely clean and it just can be handled administratively, they can kind of resume back to the old ways of business operation, right?
Anything within the statutory guidelines of a brew pub license, yes.
Do we have the ability, maybe this is for the city attorney, to notice the new owners of the Old Mill and remind them of the disciplinary history of the previous establishment and put them on notice?
You can let them know, but not in any formal way, because the license is completely new. A transferred license is effectively a new license. So they don't get any of the history in terms of aggravating circumstances. You can certainly let them know as a matter of courtesy that you have concerns based on the history of the establishment, but it's not attributable to them at all as a matter of law.
We're wiping the blackboard clean.
You are.
All right.
And Authority Member Webb, just so you know, they are aware, they have been working very closely with the previous owners of the Old Mill, and they've been very forthcoming with them. So I don't think that there are any surprises about what the history is. So.
Ma'am, one more. Do you recall at our study session we talked about having the police liaison attend one of our next meetings? Were you able to affect that?
We have not yet. City Attorney Schladorn and I have been busy on other things, but we are working on that. We have not forgotten.
Okay.
Okay?
Thank you.
Is that it from the staff?
Is it?
I like the new email accounts, by the way.
Good, I'm glad.
I
Full stars for
I
those.
couldn't open your attachments or some reason at the old,
It was probably a size limitation on whichever other server you were using.
but it worked really well under the new one, so.
Good, glad to hear it.
Saving trees.
Any items from authority members? The chair has no items. With that, I will declare this meeting adjourned. Thank you all.